Good morning, greetings, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you. We welcome your calls at 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. If you have a health challenge you need help with, or a loved one has a health challenge, or if you have questions about the longevity supplements or Truth Treatment products, or if you just have a success story you'd like to share, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on The Bright Side, call 866-735-2470. That's the phone number for the Brightside Ben phone team. You can also head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com and purchase longevity products right off the website. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team. For a one-time $25 fee, you can start yourself a longevity business, be in business for yourself, earn thank you checks, helping change the world at the most fundamental level there is. That is the level of our individual personal health. There's nothing more basic than that. Nothing else matters if you're not healthy. And using longevity products, if you've used longevity products and you've experienced it, pay it forward. Help change the world. Help change people's lives. Help people get off their drugs. Help people lose weight. Help people feel better. And work out of the home. Be your own boss. Enjoy the tax benefits associated with having your own business and getting your products at the wholesale price. Call 866-735-2470 for more info, or head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com and click the Join the Team link right off the website. Okay, so I want to continue talking about the hormone estrogen, super important molecule in the body. Everybody's heard of estrogen. We don't really know exactly, as most people anyway, don't really know exactly what estrogen is, although we certainly have heard about it. If you're listening to this program, you probably know more than most people. Estrogen is a powerful, powerful hormone, perhaps the most powerful hormone in the body. Certainly one of the most powerful hormones in the body, one of the most powerful molecules in the body. When I say powerful, I mean potent. Active in minuscule amounts. At any given moment, you have maybe 200 to 500 nanograms. That's a billionth of a gram. Just to give you some perspective, a teaspoon is about 5 grams. So you're talking 1/5 billionths of a teaspoon, if you can even imagine that. You take a teaspoon of water divided by 5 billion times, and that's basically a nanogram. You got 500 of those floating around in your blood at any given time. Contrast that with the average dose of birth control pills, toxic estrogen, fake estrogen, not even real estrogen, which is more potent than regular estrogen. And you get about 100 times what's floating around in your blood at any given moment. You get 100 times that amount when you take your birth control pill or hormone replacement therapy. Even bioidentical, so-called bioidentical. This is the problem. This is why I don't like the term bioidentical. Even if the molecule is the same, you're taking thousands of times the amount. Typically, in a dose, you're taking thousands of times the amount that's floating around in your blood. That's not bioidentical. Even if the molecule is identical, The dose is certainly not. The concentration is certainly not. You're flooding your body with estrogens. And estrogens are the most potent molecule in the body, or arguably, one of certainly. You can start to see why these hormone drugs are so problematic. Now, estrogen has to be cleared. It has to be broken down. It has to be detoxified. And the body can detoxify estrogen, but it can't detoxify thousands of times the amount it's supposed to have. And I'm not even talking about so-called xenoestrogens, the estrogens that are in plants and the estrogens that are in water, the estrogens that are industrial toxins and contaminants. Estrogenic activity is found throughout nature. So-called estrogen. Remember, chemistry is all about tinker toys, all about shapes. Well, estrogen has a specific tinker toy-like shape, but that tinker toy-like shape is found throughout nature. It's found in synthetic products. That tinker toy-like shape that has to be processed by the body. We are flooded with estrogens. Flooded. And that's not, I'm talking unintentional estrogens. I'm not even talking about the intentional ones we take as drugs. Unintentionally, just by living in our polluted, trashed out 21st century culture, we are flooding our bodies with estrogens. Plastics act like estrogens. Sunscreens act like estrogens. Industrial waste acts like estrogens. There's estrogens in the water in the form of birth control pills. Yes, there are birth control pills in the water. I was just reading how they're finding all kinds of drugs in sea creatures, in coral, in the water. And one of those compounds is estrogens. So we are just drowning in estrogen. Remember, this is the most potent, arguably the most potent molecule found in the body, and we've flooded our body with this stuff, artificially and intentionally. And now the body can handle a certain amount of estrogen because it's evolved to deal with it, but it hasn't evolved to deal with the amounts we're giving it. The body has a system in place for breaking down estrogen, for clearing it quickly. Estrogen is a growth substance. It makes things grow. You got cysts, you probably have a problem with estrogen. You have fibroids, you probably have a problem with estrogen. You got tissue growing like crazy, like an endometriosis, you got a problem with estrogen. You got cells dividing really rapidly, as in cancer, you got a problem likely with estrogen. Estrogen is a potent growth substance. Its primary function is to grow cells and tissues. That's what its role is. Estrogen makes a baby. That's its main role in the body, is to make a baby. So it's a growth substance. I don't want to say it's its only role, but its primary role, or it's one of its most important roles, is to make a baby. So wherever you have growth or wherever you have fiber formation out of control or cell division out of control, stuff happening, stuff moving in a dynamic, out of control nature, the movement in the body has to be controlled, not out of control. The growth has to be controlled, not out of control. If it's out of control, you probably got an estrogen problem. Now, the body can handle a certain amount of estrogen, but it can't handle all we're giving it, that's for sure. And this is where helping the body along with glucuronidation. We talked about glucuronate. Glucuronidation is one of the body's most important estrogen detoxifiers. If you're dealing with fibroids, you're dealing with endometriosis, you're dealing with some kind of estrogenic cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, intestinal cancer, using glucuronate supplements is super important, or at least super helpful. Whether you do it or not, no, I recommend it. Now, you don't need to take it in a supplement. It's found in foods, but supplementally, you'll make, as always, when you're talking supplements versus foods, and when you take a supplement, you assure that you have enough. You don't really know what's in foods. Citrus fruits, cruciferous vegetables, those are your main sources of food glucuronidation. But you just don't take a chance if you've got an estrogenic issue, or you just want to support estrogen detoxification, go get some calcium D-glucarate. It's cheap. It's available everywhere. Calcium D-glucarate. DIM and I3C. DIM. Diindolyl methane. DIM, just call it. I3C. Indole 3-carbinol. I3C. They're both found in cruciferous vegetables, but they're also found supplementally. Get them as supplements. They'll help balance out estrogen too. Progesterone cream. One of the all-time great ways to balance out estrogen. Vitamin A, vitamin E also can help balance out estrogen. Essential fatty acids are important for estrogenic health issues. There's so many different ways that we can help support estrogen detoxification. And then there's one of the main ways. We'll talk about that when we come back from our break. One of the best ways to get rid of excess estrogen. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. If you're in the Sacramento area, I will be doing a talk on Sunday, June 10th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Orangevale Community Center, 6826 Hazel Avenue, Orangevale, California, zip code 95662. We'll talk about the same things. Well, basically the same ideas we talk about on this program, but I don't get to really dive deeply into it. An hour and a half, you can really dive into it. I could talk about stuff I don't get to talk about on this program. Call Jay Ingalls at 916-712-9504. That's 916-712-9504 for more info and to RSVP. Sunday, June 10th, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., Orangevale Community Center, 6826 Hazel Avenue, Orangevale, California, 95662. Call Jay Ingalls at 916-712-9504 for more information. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised or recommended on the Bright Side, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, or call 866-735-2470. Our number on the Bright Side, 844-236-6010. Got lines open, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products or estrogens or detoxification or health challenge you or a loved one is dealing with, 844-236-6010 is our number on the Bright Side. So, lots of ways to help clear out this toxic hormone estrogen. This is, by the way, reading from the International Journal of Cancer. Catechol estrogens induce oxidative stress and malignant transformation. That is, catechol estrogens are byproducts of estrogen metabolism. They're the toxic estrogens. They're the estrogens that are super high-powered, catechol estrogens. The chemistry of these things is absolutely mind-blowing, by the way. We're not going to get into that, except to say catechol estrogens are like estrogens. They're like estrogens on steroids. Yes, estrogens are steroids, but they're like steroids on steroids. They're amped up estrogens. And they are super high-powered, and they're associated with all the estrogen misery, and that's why helping the body glucuronidate. Catechol estrogens are built up when you don't do step 2. Remember, there's 2 steps in detoxification, step 1, step 2. When step 2 is not keeping up with step 1, that's when these catechol estrogens, I call them toxic estrogens, but you can call them, technically, they're catechol estrogens build up, and they're associated with problems. And that's where things like glucuronidation become important. Vitamin C is really important. Vitamin C is unspeakably important. I don't even know how to possibly express the unbelievable, stupendously valuable nature of this humble little nutrient. And I say humble because if you look at it, remember the Tinker Toys, remember chemistry is Tinker Toys, it's just like the tiniest little Tinker Toy shape. It's like insignificant nothing. It's so small, the vitamin C molecule, but it is so ridiculously valuable for so many reasons, not the least of which is its ability to help the body detoxify and detoxify estrogen. Essential fatty acids can help balance out estrogen, progesterone, but nothing is as important when it comes to taking care of estrogen clearance as working on the intestines and the bowels and bowel movements. Estrogen is eliminated through bile and bowel movements. And keeping the intestine healthy, and there's a reason why the intestine is subject to estrogenic cancers. Keeping the intestine healthy is job number one. Job number one in all health, but especially when it comes to estrogen clearance. If you don't clear estrogen out of the bowels, if you're chronically constipated, and many, many people are, you are playing with estrogen fire. Chronic constipation is just a recipe for estrogen disaster because the estrogen builds up. It doesn't get cleared. It doesn't get eliminated. And there's lots of reasons why you want to make sure that you're keeping your bowels moving regularly. But this is, if not the major reason, it's certainly in the top 3 or 4 major reasons. There's lots of major reasons, but this is one of the most important reasons. Is it helps you clear, keeping the bowels moving and keeping the bowels healthy helps you clear out estrogen. Well, there's lots of things in the bowels that are important for estrogen metabolism. Probiotics help with estrogen metabolism. Good bacteria. And when I say good bacteria, I'm not talking about just using good bacteria supplements like your nightly essence, which is important. I'm not just talking about using fermented foods, like especially fermented veggies. Kefir is okay and yogurt's okay as long as you don't have a problem with the dairy. As long as there's real cultures in there. Just because you're eating your yogurt doesn't mean there's real bacterial cultures in there. A lot of yogurt's pasteurized. That kills the bacteria. A lot of yogurt has sugar. Lots. I'm not talking about natural sugar that's in the milk. I'm talking about added candy sugar. I never understood how those frozen yogurt places where like I forget what they call them. What is that frozen yogurt? There's some chain where they sell frozen yogurt. It was supposed to be a healthy alternative to ice cream. It is not a healthy alternative. There's nothing healthy about those frozen yogurt ice cream cones. There's no bacteria in there, for one. It's filled with sugar, for two. It's highly processed, for three. So not all yogurt is a quality food, but good quality yogurt, plain goat yogurt. And if you think it's not tasty, you got to try it. It's quite delicious. Plain old organic goat yogurt. You can find that in a health food store. That's the best yogurt going. Fermented veggies, though, that's the way you really want to get your fermented foods. Because when you do fermented veggies, you get a triple effect, three benefits. Fermented veggies give you three major benefits for the bowels, for the intestine. Number one, they give you the bacteria. Number two, they give you the fiber, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. And number three, they give you nitrogen. Vegetables are the best sources of nitrates and nitrites. And before you go all off on the toxicity of nitrates and nitrites, as we've said so many times in this program, if you're new, I'll say it again. Nitrates and nitrites from foods are not the same as nitrates and nitrates as preservatives in hot dogs and in luncheon meat. Make no mistake about it. Luncheon meat and deli meat, I don't know, why do they call it luncheon meat anyway? I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I guess you eat it at lunch, but whatever. Luncheon meat, bologna, salami, pastrami, all that stuff is really problematic for the gut, for the intestine, and for the body in general. But the nitrates and nitrates that you get in vegetables, now those are healthy. That's why beets have become all the rage. I don't know if you've noticed the beet powder. Longevity's got cardio beets, and there's beet powder advertised on the radio. And a lot of people don't like beets. I don't understand why people don't like beets. Stuff tastes basically like candy. It's rich in sugar. Just why you don't want to eat like a crazy amount of beets. But beets are amazingly important for health, and one of the reasons is the nitrates and the nitrites, especially for the cardiovascular system, but also for the bowels. So fermented veggies give you three mechanisms. They give you the fiber, they give you the probiotics, and they give you the nitrates and the nitrites for the intestine. And it's not just the probiotics that are important for detoxifying estrogen. It's the environment that the probiotics are sitting in. The environment has to be conducive to the probiotics so you can clear out your estrogen. So anything you can do for your bowels is going to be important for helping your body eliminate estrogen. Constipation is your big-time enemy when it comes to estrogen toxicity. And chronic constipation is a recipe for health disaster down the road, especially estrogenic cancers. Many people who have, and I don't want to say most, but it probably is most, but at least many people who have estrogenic cancers, breast cancers and reproductive cancers, were chronically constipated previous to that. Bile is also important. Estrogen is cleared out with bile, and as I've said so many times, this is the most underappreciated fluid in the body. Unbelievably important, and while it's not made in the gallbladder and you can still have bile activity without a gallbladder, the gallbladder plays a super important role when it comes to bile and bile activity. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back after this. Don't go away. We're back on the bright side with lines open at 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. I'm Pharmacist Ben, and you're listening to the bright side. We are on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 on the archive pages at benfuchsarchives.com. Thank you to Peter in the UK for setting that one up, and brightsideben.com. You can purchase all your favorite longevity products at brightsideben.com. PharmacistBen.com, CriticalHealthNews.com, or by calling 866-735-2470. And lest I forget, you can purchase your Truth Treatment products at TruthTreatments.com, or Biomimetic Mineral Mist made with fulvic minerals, which are absolutely mind-blowingly valuable as nutritional supplements and as topical ingredients. I don't know why they're not used more in skincare products. Fulvic minerals, are amazing. Plant-derived fulvic minerals. Fulvic minerals are the active ingredient in soil. They're what makes soil the life-giving substance that it is. They're the most powerful electrolytes known to man. They're not even electrolytes. They're polyelectrolytes. They're strings of electrolytes, which gives them amazing power. My favorite thing about fulvic acids, my favorite feature of fulvic acids, is they open up the doors of cells. They make cell membranes more permeable to nutrients, which is why using fulvic acid with vitamin C and retinoids is such a wonderful combination for making sure that you're getting your skin cells fed the way they should be topically. The most important topical ingredients for the skin, by far. The most important topical ingredients for the skin, by far. And I'm saying that I'm emphasizing that because there's zillions of active ingredients, zillions of so-called active ingredients in skincare products. But the most important are vitamin C and vitamin A. There is no argument. It's not my opinion. It's a fact. Nutrients in general are the most important ingredients. And what the fulvic minerals do is they open up skin cells. First, they make things more permeable through the surface of the skin. And then they make ingredients like vitamin A and vitamin C more permeable into the cell itself. And that's where the action is in skincare. That's where you got to be in skincare, is at the level of the cell itself. So even if you don't use our Truth Treatment products, I don't know why you wouldn't, you should at least use our Biomimetic Mineral Mist for your other, whatever skincare product you're using. Of course, then you're going to be, in addition to the active ingredients, you're going to be improving the penetration of all the other crappy ingredients that are in most skincare products. So just go with the truth. That's why I call it the truth. TruthTreatments.com. Truth Biomimetic Mineral Mist. Truth Retinol 5% Gel. Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream. Truth Transdermal C Balm. And our award-winning Truth Transdermal C Serum, voted one of the top 150 products in the world by Harper's Bazaar magazine. And now we have a Truth Retinol 1% Gel available as well. If you've tried to use retinol in the past but haven't been able to, we now have a Truth Retinol 1% Gel. You can use it on a daily basis. Even if you are using your retinol 5% gel once every 10 days to 14 days, in between, you can bump up your skin's retinol concentration or retinol content with our new Truth Retinol 1% Gel. They're all up at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, we'll get your calls in just a second. We have lines open, 844-236-6010. This is from the University of Aberdeen. New link found between diabetes and Alzheimer's disease. No kidding. We've been saying this for years. Alzheimer's disease is type 3 diabetes. Alzheimer's disease is a secondary disease. Like most so-called diseases, they're secondary, not primary. The three primary breakdowns occur at the level of the blood sugar system and the digestive system and the thyroid and the adrenal glands. The adrenal thyroid complex, i.e. the triangle of disease. This paper from University of Aberdeen, published in the journal Diabetologica, found for the first time that dementia-related complications within the brain can also lead to changes in glucose handling and ultimately diabetes. This is contrary to what was previously thought, that diabetes begins with a malfunction in the pancreas or a high-fat, high-sugar diet. How interesting is that? They're saying here that the brain is actually the first organ that goes awry when there's diabetes, not the pancreas. Interesting. Doesn't matter. It's all about sugar. Is the bottom line. Who cares where it starts? Oh, yeah, you want to know where it starts? It starts in the gut, as all health challenges do. Just was reading something here. Where the heck is that? Just reading that here just this morning about, by the way, Parkinson's disease, also a gut health issue. This is from Clinical Neurology News. IBD, irritable bowel syndrome, upped Parkinson's risk in large study. The gut and the brain are related, and the gut and the microbiome are related. The gut, which is the microbiome, and the blood sugar system are related. It's all interconnected, but it starts with the gut, goes to the blood sugar system, and that's where you end up with all your other secondary issues. It messes up the adrenal thyroid complex, and that's where you end up with all of your healthcare challenges, all of them. Do not let the medical model bamboozle you. It doesn't require specialists. The medical model wants you to think that you have your diseases are special. They're not special. They're just the manifestations of breakdowns at these three primary levels. And the good news about the three primary levels is we have control over them. We have control. You don't have control over all the things all the little molecular steps, maybe. conscious control, but you have conscious control over what you eat. You got conscious control over the sugar you ingest. You got conscious control over the supplements you take. You got conscious control over your respiration. We have conscious control at the level of the triangle of disease. At the level of the molecules, we don't have conscious control. The body does all of that. We just have 3 roles, 3 jobs. Number one, actually, if you want to boil it down, it's just one job. Watch what you eat. Take care of your gut. Everything else will follow. Yeah, it's a triangle of disease, but really it's the point of disease, the one single point that affects everything, and that's the gut. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Chris in Texas. Good morning, Chris. Welcome to the Bright Side.
Good morning, Dr. Ben.
What's going on? Pharmacist Ben.
Pharmacist Ben. Very good, because I understand why you feel kind of awkward being called Dr. Ben, because Dr. Ben was some guy that supposedly pioneered the procedure of DMT. What is it?
Of what?
You know, supposedly a solution for Clostridium difficile.
Dr. Ben?
Yeah, Dr. Ben, some guy, I forget his last name, but Dr. Ben, he's from Denver.
Okay.
And
he pioneered a treatment for C. diff?
For C. diff.
Okay,
yes.
So C. diff for the listeners is a bacteria that lives in the gut, or that can infect the gut and cause all kinds of nasty diseases. You know, botulism is a C. diff issue. Did you know that?
How is botulism a C. diff issue?
The bacteria C. diff is the causative agent for botulism. Botulism toxin. It's actually the cause. It's actually the mechanism of botulism, I should say. Clostridium botulinum. Have you heard of this?
No.
Yes. So C. diff, Clostridium is a genus of bacteria. And there's various Clostridiums. Clostridium botulinum, Clostridium difficile. You're talking about C. diff. That's what C. diff is. There's various Clostridium bacteria. But go ahead. What was your question about Clostridium C. diff? Actually, you know what? We got to take a... I hate to do this to you, buddy. We got the music. So hang on, Chris, and if you're on hold, we'll get to you as well. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Back on the bright side, I'm Pharmacist Ben, 844-236-6010. That's 844-236-6010. We lost our last caller. I was going to kind of interested in what he had to say about C. diff, but seems to have gone away. So let's go to Cliff in Ottawa and say good morning. What's up, Cliff?
Yeah, good morning, sir. Yeah, I'm going to go on and talk about your beets, because this is a good subject.
My beets?
No, beets, like you were talking about beets earlier, the vegetable. Yeah, the thing is that what I noticed about beets personally is that they give you an erection, more erection.
Are you not instantaneous, I hope, but you're saying just better erections. Right, but that's the nitrogen. That's the nitrates and the nitrogen in there. Nitrogen is a very potent vasodilator. It's a natural Viagra. In fact, that's how Viagra works, is by affecting nitrogen levels. So you're just going right to the source. You're just giving yourself nitrogen. So I can totally see why that works. The same benefits happen in the blood, in the heart. So you get more blood to the heart too.
And that's why I like it too, because I know if I can get erections, my whole cardiovascular system is better. This is the whole point. It's not, I'm not really interested in all the other aspects. I'm interested in my cardiovascular system.
Yeah.
Because it's survival, at my age. It's like...
How old are you?
61.
You're 61?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sound great. I thought you were a youngin'. You're not a youngin', though.
Maybe it's the way I sound, but actually I look a lot younger than I am. A lot of
good for you.
When they look at me.
So how do you get your beets?
What I was doing, I was just going to the store buying the beets in bags, or I would buy them, just a bunch of them, and I would actually make beet juice, Then after that, we started, which was good. But the only problem is I didn't like to spike my blood sugar.
Yeah, it's very sweet, super sweet. I only put a couple of beets. When I use beets, I just put 1 or 2 chunks in a green drink because it is super sweet. I can't. Could you drink? It wasn't too sweet to drink a whole thing of beets.
It's just I loved it. I even put it together with carrots.
Oh my goodness, that's super sweet. That's super sweet.
It was wonderful. This was a treat for both of us. But the thing is that unfortunately it spikes my blood sugar.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. Like it kind of like gives me this boost, and I get.
And then you crash.
Well, not even that. It's just this charge of energy that I have trouble dealing with. It's like I can keep my blood sugar constant. Yeah,
that's smart. Smart.
I do. And one thing, what do you think about pickled beets?
Oh, they're great. That's what I was talking about how when you pickle a vegetable or ferment a vegetable, you get fiber, you get nitrogen, and you get the bacteria, the probiotics. With beets, you get an extra hit of nitrogen. So pickled beets are amazing, and the some of those sugars are broken down in the fermentation process, so it's not as sweet. It's more tart than it is sweet. So although it still has a twinge of sweetness in there because there's still some sugars. So you've had them, I imagine, right? Pickled beets.
Not before, but I also bought some recently, and I'm going to probably start eating them today. They're in the fridge.
Good for you. Borscht? Have you tried borscht?
Well, this is one thing I love about Joanna. Is that she used to.
Who's Joanna?
Oh, this is my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but basically she makes wonderful borscht.
Okay.
I started eating this when I was a kid, and like at my neighbor's house, they were from Poland, and we used to eat borscht, and Joanna makes a wonderful borscht, and this is a blessing in my life, that she would.
Joanna or the borscht? Which one's the blessing?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, one is with the other. Yeah.
All right.
And then, but anyhow, so that's good. But another thing too is what else? Oh yeah, spring water. Like, I don't know how you feel about spring water. I know
it's the best. No, I like distilled because you just don't know what's in the spring. But theoretically, that's how we're supposed to be drinking spring water. Theoretically, because
now, the thing is,
when the water's in a spring, the minerals in a spring are a different type of mineral. They're electrolytic. They're moving. So when you have in springs, you get all this oxygen and electrified minerals that make it the best water to drink. Theoretically. These days, you just don't know what's in the water table and in the springs. That's my only thing.
I know what you mean. I know because I started researching it even around here in Canada. Now, the thing is, what do you think about the plastic? Because I'm buying it in 4-liter bottles.
It's not great. I buy it in plastic jugs. It's not great. Plastics are xenoestrogenic. Look, you got to have locus of control here. There's certain things you can control, certain things you can't. What are you going to do? Either you drink tap water, you drink bottled water. It doesn't come in glass, I have boxes now, but the boxes probably have, who knows what the boxes are aligned with. It's just, look, you can't control everything. I was on a panel. I think I told the story a couple weeks ago. I was on a panel with this lady a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago in Canada, actually, in Toronto. And she was talking about microwaves and radio and phone, the stuff that's coming off your phone. What are you going to do? You can't we communicate by phone. We're surrounded with microwaves. You got doors everywhere that open and close that didn't exist 100 years ago, and scanners at the supermarkets and our computers. You can't control absolutely everything. You control what you could control. You do what you can do. And just know you're not going to, probably not going to make it to 130. Just don't deteriorate and rot on the way to our demise. That's what you were looking for. You want to be vital and vigorous till the day you die. That's what you're looking for. Yes? And,
you said it right there. That's a good, philosophy to have. You're not looking to, you want to keep yourself as best as possible. And that's what I'm going to do, too. And at my age, and it's just to secure my employment too, because once you start looking too much over the hill, they start looking for somebody.
Or when you're physically disabled as you get older and you can't work. You can't move as well. That's what you do not want to have happen, and we have control over that to a large extent. With the foods we eat, the supplements we take, the thoughts we think. I know I say it periodically. I don't say it enough. The thoughts we think and the emotions we feel. Do not underestimate the power of the mind and the power of your spirit and soul. Those are major, major roles to play. And if you're supplementing and doing things supposedly correctly and eating correctly, and you're still falling apart, and you're not getting the benefits that you should be getting from your physical strategies, rest assured there are mental and emotional and spiritual forces at play that are working to counteract what you're doing physically. And don't underestimate the importance of those. Cliff, I want to get one more call in. Everything good? All right, good.
Yes.
Good to talk to you. Have a great day, man. All right, so let's go to Rich in Pennsylvania and say good morning. What's up, Rich? How you doing?
Hi, Dr. Ben.
Hey.
Last 2 years, I've been having some problems with my teeth and gums. And,
okay.
I mean, I'm 56. I never had problems with my teeth or gums ever up until 2 years ago, approximately.
Give me a little more specifics on what. Give me some specifics when you say problems.
Well, 2 years ago, my whole upper teeth started aching. It
Okay.
lasted for about 2 weeks, and
Okay.
it stopped. And about 2 weeks later, it started up again. And I noticed that my teeth were all like deteriorating up by the gums.
I would say gum disease, sir. I would say that sounds like gum disease to me. Have you had that looked at?
No, I just made an appointment.
Okay, well, here's the deal. Just in the interest of time, because I only have about a minute here, okay? Listen, the gums are like, they're made up of connective tissue. They're like the bones. They're like the connective tissue in your skin. They're like your tendons and ligaments. Deterioration of the connective tissue is a generic sign of bodily breakdown. It's typical that you'd have it at age 56. I'm 58 personally. That's where the body starts to break down noticeably, is in your late 50s. So it's not surprising that it happened all of a sudden. Or I should say you notice it all of a sudden, but it's been going on under the radar. And so you're just breaking. Go ahead.
In my lower gums, just the last 5 days have just been aching.
You got it. First of all, I'd have that looked at just to know where you're at, just to know where the significance of the deterioration is. Then start building your body up using things like bone broth protein, arthritis remedies. It's not arthritis, but it's similar. It's arthritis of the gums. So anything that you would do for arthritis, MSM sulfur, hyaluronic acid, lots of vitamin C, get on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, get on the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, use your OsteoFX, Ultimate Enzymes, take it on an empty stomach, can help with some of the pain, by the way. They'll also help you absorb nutrients. So use your Ultimate Enzymes. If you have any gut problems, you need to correct those because everything's absorbed through the gut. Gelatin, use straight gelatin. Silica gel, liquid silica gel. Magnesium, as I said earlier, you'll get that in the OsteoFX, but you can take extra magnesium. 50 milligrams a day of zinc picolinate. Vitamin A. I know that I gave you tons of stuff, but there is tons of things that you can do. Generally speaking, think of arthritis. Treat yourself like you're an arthritic, except it's in your gums. And that would be a good place for you to start. I wish I had more time, Rich. That's it. We're just out of it. Okay. So thanks for your call. I should say out of time. We're not out of it. We're out of time. And thanks for listening. As always, to The Bright Side, please check out my websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for all the longevity products, and truthtreatments.com for our Truth Skin Health products. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.